Hello guys, welcome back to the channel where it is of course a Pittsburgh Steelers Friday. So this one's a little bit late. Got caught up with the Christmas tree because it's Christmas tree decoration day at our house, and I may have had to run out and grab a couple of things just to make sure that it was looking perfect. Which it was, and we're happy with it, but let's get back down to business as it were. As we know, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are coming up against the Cleveland Browns, two teams who are 6-3, hoping for a win that could very much change the course of course on the luck for both teams this season, as the playoffs are sort of coming very much into focus. But enough about that. We're going to focus with what we usually focus with, and that is the injury report. And I've got it on an iPad this time, so I've upgraded from my usual little notebook. So for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we'll start with that. A couple of players who were DMPs limited through, but the main game status is one. Keanu Neal, safety, is out. Minka Patrick is out. Montravius Adams is out, and Pat Fryermuth is questionable. He says he's confident that he's going to play, and I think he will. Again, whether or not it's going to be in a limited capacity, we'll have to wait and see, but I imagine he will see some snaps. And then for the Cleveland Browns, again, the most notable ones, Michael Dunn is questionable. Marquise Goodwin, the wide receiver, is out. DeJuan Jones is questionable, and Juan Thornhill is out. And injuries are really what we need to talk about, because whilst that is the game status, on the injury report, the big one is Deshaun Watson and what sort of impact that's going to do. And if I'm being brutally honest, I'm not that happy with it. Or at least not confident coming out of it, because what does it mean? What does it mean they're going to do? That means they're going to run the ball. What are the Steelers not the best at this season? Stopping the run. Where is the Steelers' biggest injury problems? Middle linebacker, stopping the run. So this is going to be a game where they are going to run the ball down our throats, because they really need to. Again, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. In fact, that's actually another thing I want to bring up. Whilst it may be the second, third string quarterback, I've seen us lose to bad quarterbacks before. I still have memories of, Mike Glennon, who, fine quarterback, but no one ever confused him with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I've seen us lose to like a Blake Bortles. Again, had a couple of decent games, but it was Blake Bortles. Tim Tebow in the playoff game. I understand we had injuries, but we still lost Tim Tebow. We have lost these games before, when the quarterback, you'd think, oh, this is going to be easier, not necessarily easy, but easier because the quarterback, and we just go and lose them. So there's that factor playing into it. And as I've said, the run game is going to be a little bit tricky. And also, as Ramon Foster was saying on the Ramon Foster show today, tight ends as well can be a quarterback's safety blanket. And again, looking in the middle of the field, that's where the middle linebackers are. David Njoku, rather, is a player who can make big plays, as he did earlier on in the season. So everything in my mind is telling me this is going to be a tough game. Again, you may want to look at it on paper and think, oh, Pittsburgh Steelers defense, oh, what are they going to do? They're going to harass Dorian Thompson-Robinson and everything, and oh, he's going to have a bad game, everything. Everything that I have seen from the Pittsburgh Steelers is ringing alarm bells in my mind to make me think this isn't going to be the cakewalk that many people think that it potentially could be. Again, Ramon Foster was saying on the show, this isn't necessarily a trap game, because the Cleveland Browns are a good team. But again, on paper, you should be feeling confident, but we're not. So that's the Cleveland Browns against the Pittsburgh Steelers, as it were. Now I want to flip it. And again, there was another point that that was being brought up. Again, I watch the Ramon Foster show every day. I recommend everyone does. If you're a Steelers fan, it is the best Steelers show out there. I'm humble enough to admit that is the best. That is the best one. And they're talking about, given the development that we've seen from the run game from the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially in the past 2 weeks. We finally got over 200 yards last week. And the Cleveland Browns are the number one defense in the league. They are going to force Kenny Pickett to throw. Now they are going to stack the box. They are going to do everything they can to stop the run, which is our best at least on offense. The run game is the main part of it, is the core and the main identity of it right now. So if you could take that away, you're going to force Kenny Pickett to throw. And that is, again, where I'm worried. Again, I am a Kenny Pickett fan. I want to put that on record. I am a Kenny Pickett fan. I'm not one of these people that are saying he's a bust. I will admit that he has struggles. But again, I'm not going to consider him a bust totally until I see him in a system that is not run by Matt Canada. So again, there are different things. going into this. So I'm a Kenny Pickett fan, but I do worry in a game like this, if they're going to make Kenny Pickett throw, does he have what it takes to step up and make things happen? Again, it goes back to what I've been saying constantly throughout this thing. It is a consistent basis. We have seen good drives from Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett. Again, I will admit, I'm not a Canada fan, but we have seen good drives from them. It's can we do it on a consistent basis, and can we do it when we need to? That is where I have my questions and I have my doubts. So some people were saying, is this made for a Kenny Pickett breakout game because they're going to do everything they can to stop the run? So now put it all on Kenny Pickett, make him throw 40 times or whatever, see if he can get over 300 yards or whatever. I don't see that happening. But I am confident enough that we will see enough of a game manager from him. I think I said during the season previews, what I want from Kenny Pickett is Alex Smith, during his Kansas City and San Francisco days. Game manager. I don't want to see, Patrick Mahomes' big throws every single drive. If you can make enough small plays to keep the chains moving, throw in the run, throw in the play action, all these little things, throw in screen passes, everything you can. Just keep our defense off the field for as long as you can to make sure they are fully rested against this Cleveland Brown offense, then that is okay with me. And if he can game manage his way through it, then that's fine. But at the same time, and I understand this may be a little bit hypocritical, I do want to see him be a little bit more aggressive. I think if you're going to do it, this might be the game to try and be aggressive in the passing game. Let's see him air it out a little bit more. Let's see him, again, throw it 30, again, not necessarily 50 times, but maybe throw it 30 times rather than around the 20 mark. Let's sprinkle in a couple of deep passes. Let's try and be aggressive. Let's see if they are going to make him win the game. Let's see what he has. I think that's what I really want to see. If they're going to try and stop the run, I think they'll do a good job in stopping the run, the Cleveland Browns. So that puts the onus on Kenny Pickett. Again, I'm not asking you to be a hero or anything, but just give us something. Just show us the progression is there. Give us something to at least silence maybe 10% of the naysayers who are saying that Kenny Pickett is a bust. Let's work with it that way. Let's sprinkle in a little bit more. Let's sprinkle in a little bit more aggression, as I keep saying. So that's really the sort of the main focuses of it. Can we overcome, at least in my eye, the fear factor of a strong running game from the Browns and the fear of falling again to a lesser quarterback, shall we say, and what is David Njoku and the middle linebacker situation going to be? And then on the other side, can the offense take another step forward again? We've seen what the ground game can do. Let's see what the passing game can do. Let's see, and this might be the best time to try and make it happen. Okay, so those are my thoughts. I just click the close button on the screen. Let me guys know what you think. What do you think that Steelers can and should do ahead of this game? Where do you think the key points are? Who do you think the key players are going to be? Again, don't forget, you can like, you can subscribe, you can follow. My social details are all down below. You can follow me on TikTok, which is where I'm going to start moving most of my content. I am still going to be dabbling in the written article a little bit, but maybe just, again, taking a step back and moving more towards the video aspect of it. There are ways for you to do that. But yeah, let's keep the conversation. Let's keep this conversation going. Before I go there, I will finish with my usual score prediction. And this is not going to be a pretty one. Again, I would not be surprised if it was a shot-for-shot remake of the game earlier in the season. In terms of how it plays out, the Steelers are probably going to be outgained. It's how it's worked. It's how it's worked all season, and we've managed to get 6 wins out of it rather in 9 games. So it can work. I do see a Steelers win. However, again, shot for shot, it can be a very low score. Do not be surprised if it's like 21-17. In fact. No, I'm not going to go for that because that seems. But yeah, I'll go for a 20-16 Pittsburgh Steelers victory against the Cleveland Browns this weekend. So again, let me guys know what you think. Yeah, let's go Steelers.